In this episode, I'm going to introduce you to the leaf strategy. This is how you can rank #1 on YouTube search. No one else teaches this strategy, but it's the exact method that has gotten thousands of videos ranked on the top of YouTube. This is not just theory, but a tactical approach. You'll be able to predict when and where your videos will rank at the top. If you want to rank at the top of YouTube search and in fact dominate search for your entire niche, this is the one strategy you need to learn. Let's dive right in. So to understand the leaf strategy, I want to teach you my tree analogy. So a tree has a broad trunk that goes out to the branches that eventually ends up in the leaves. The broad trunk represents your core area of expertise, and the branches represent all the different ways you can categorize that. The leaves represent questions. I had my team put all these question marks on here. You want to focus on the leaves and don't make any videos on trunk or branch topics. So let me give you a couple examples. For one, let's say you're a human resources expert. That's the trunk of your tree. An example of a leaf would be, how can we improve recruitment and selection process? Or another leaf I found is how to restructure a company to increase profits. Or what if you're a nutrition expert? So the trunk of your tree is nutrition. An example of a leaf would be how to calculate nutritional value of a recipe, or how to carry nutrition during a marathon. You probably noticed something pretty specific, okay? So the trunk is going to be 1 or 2 words. Branches are going to be like 3, 4, 5 words, but these leaves, they're going to have 8, 9, or even 10 words. Why is that? Well, let me come back to my computer and I'll show you something really cool. All right, if I type in become politician, we find Jay Townsend at the top. He is following the leaf strategy to the letter. Now notice the search that I did was for only 2 words, but yet his videos are, that one has 7 words, this one has 6 words, this one has 6 words. The path for him to dominate this space, and you can see no one else is showing up here at the top. We have to scroll down to find other people, but we still find Jay. The path to dominate, even phrases with just 2 words, you have to start with the leaves. Let me show you another example. If you type in discipline teenager, we find Nicolene Peck ranking at the top. She's also a client of mine, but look at the title that's ranking there. How to discipline a teenager who doesn't care about consequences. That's a 10-word question. In order to rank at the top of YouTube for this 2-word search, we had to make dozens of videos answering questions that are 8, 9, or 10 words long. So when you do your keyword research and you start to find these questions, you start to find these leaves, you're going to find some that have 10 searches per month. You'll find others that have 50 searches a month. You'll find others that have 500 searches a month. Which ones are more valuable to you? Well, in the long run, yes. If you rank for those that have 500 searches a month, that is fantastic. 500 people searching for your expertise every month. But those have the highest competition. Just like the trunk and the branches are going to be hard to rank for in the beginning, if you start with the leaves, these questions, the more words the better, and you start with the ones that have the lowest search volume but still consistent every month. Start with the 10s. So think about a staircase. Let's say your goal is there's a phrase that gets searched 1,000 times a month, but when you're climbing a staircase, what stair do you start with? If you start with a stair that's just got 10, and then you go to the 20s, and then 30s, and then eventually you get to the 100s and even 500s, or 550, I guess. That's the best way to climb a staircase. That's the best way to dominate YouTube. Let me just rapid fire show you a whole bunch of examples. So if you go to YouTube right now and you type in that question, you'll find Noelle Randall ranked at the top. She follows the leaf strategy. If you type in that question, you find Brent Bowers ranked at the top. Type in that question, there's Stan the Nudie Man at the top. Type in that question, there's Doug Andrew at the top. You type in that question, there's Jason Schroeder at the top. Type in that question, there's Michelle Villalobos at the top. Type in that question, there's Jason Hewlett. Here's another question, here's Ted Thomas at the top. Here's another question, Laura Lingmeyer's dominating the top. Here's a question, here's Dr. Carrie Ann Perkins ranking at the top. Here's a question, we've got Chad Littlefield ranking at the top. Here's a question with Paul Jenkins and Nicolene Peck both ranking at the top. So hopefully you're excited about this leaf strategy as a way that you can dominate YouTube search. Businesses use this for lead generation. To implement the leaf strategy, you need to learn the 5 ingredients, and I'm teaching a free webinar. We're going to take an hour together where I don't sell anything, but I just teach you my strategy step by step. By the end of the webinar, you'll know tactically exactly what to do to have your videos rank at the top of YouTube search. Go to theleafstrategy.com, register for the live webinar. I do it most Wednesdays. I'll see you there. theleafstrategy.com.